Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
Matt's coming. No. When do we start?
Welcome back to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast, the show where we talk about things and news and events. Current events.
Yes, mostly current events.
Nah, not really.
Well, I mean, they're kind of current.
A good solid, 40% of the show, I guess, is current events.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not quite half.
Just about.
It's better than finding 3 quality minutes.
Jesus.
I like
Still
that.
doing that.
Well, I think it's a good tagline. The Editor's Note Comics Podcast, we guarantee you 3 good minutes.
Of, the hour show.
Hey, listen.
Bad percentage.
If you could give 3 good minutes out of an hour, you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Insight. This week, we're going to talk about
Things and stuff.
Well,
and
we are, but
current
yeah.
events.
We're going to get into Baby's First comic. But before we do that, do we have any...
Well, yeah, well, how was
about?
Super Mega Fest?
Fine.
What do you mean? You turn your nose at it. Your co-host on the Buffy Back issue bin was all excited to meet Greg Brady.
Yeah, Greg Brady, it's so weird. He showed up in full 70s gear, which I guess if you were paying $40 for a selfie, you might as well.
Yes.
The show's fine. I'm not going to do it again next year.
What? Why not?
I found with shows I either need to do ones where I can cut out my expenses, basically cut out hotel and whatnot, or it needs to be such a big show that I can easily make up for it all. I made a profit, but not enough of a profit to be this is justified.
You didn't feel like it was worth it?
Yeah, I mean, good stuff happened. We
Well, did you come home with more money than you went down with?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was not a wasted trip.
A couple of celebrities stopped by our table. We
Really? Okay, let's see. Now we're getting into some juicy, meaty discussion points.
Chris Claremont, who's kind of the name on X-Men, forget Stan and Jack. Chris Claremont's the guy who made the X-Men what they are today.
Yes, he stopped by the table.
He did for a second. He's a nice enough guy. I got him to call something a clusterfuck, so that was enjoyable in my life.
Oh, really? What did he call a clusterfuck?
X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, okay. Did he sign anything for you, or?
I became that guy this show.
Did you really?
I am scum. And I've called this out on the show before.
Well, please explain. What did you do?
I have become the thing I hate.
Well, if you live long enough, you sometimes see yourself become the thing you fight, so.
I paid him money to sign some things that I have now just turned for. They am now selling at a higher profit at the store.
You were that
Everyone
guy.
else does it. Everyone does it. So I'm screw it.
Nothing you're going to keep for yourself?
No.
Oh. What else? I said, okay. So it was a good interaction with him?
Yeah, he was a nice enough guy.
I thought you got him to sign something. He didn't get any money out of it, and you're getting more money because of it.
No, I paid him.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, he had a consistent line of people, but it was never longer than 6 or 10 people at any given time, so it didn't feel like I was taking away from other people's experiences. This is me justifying.
So he was just out roaming the tables, and he stopped by and was like, "Hey, how's it going, Editor's Note Comics?"
And yeah, essentially.
Or did you recognize him and be like, "Hey,
no, he came by the table.
Come on over here."
And Lonnie Anderson came by the table for a sec.
Lonnie Anderson. Or Louis Anderson?
No, Lonnie Anderson.
Who's Lonnie Anderson?
Mostly known for being Burt Reynolds' wife and hot.
Oh, yes. How was that? Was that exciting?
And other acting things, I suppose.
Yes. Was that exciting?
It was fine. She was wearing a ton of perfume. 10 minutes later, I'm like, God, it still smells like Lonnie Anderson over here.
Oh, wow. So you know her musk.
Which is something you should put on a t-shirt.
If you were...
It still smells like Lonnie Anderson over here.
So if you're out hunting for Lonnie Anderson, we could bring you as a bloodhound. You would know the musk and you could take us there?
Apparently.
Oh, wow. So some of the celebrities were just roaming the vendor tables?
I mean, everyone gets bored and they want to get up and do something.
Fair. Except for you. You always stay at the table.
No, I mean, you do laps. You get bored. You just end up walking around.
Okay.
I was talking to one of the Turtles artists, Jim Lawson, who was there with a new book, which hopefully I can get in stores. But it was really funny because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a retailer. And he gave me a bunch of free stuff. He's like, oh, because you're a retailer. I'm like, oh, buddy, you don't need to woo me.
I will come groveling.
I came pre-wooed. You're fine. I would have paid you for this.
Well, free is free.
Yeah, but, he's a nice guy.
I came pre-wooed.
I did.
Oh, wow.
He signed some pages of art that I have of his, which is nice. We're looking at 4 of them.
Did you take some of these with you?
Oh, I took everything of his that wasn't signed.
Oh.
So it was,
it was productive.
It was nice because a few that he's like, these don't exist. This is
really rare.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know if you would say they're worthless or invaluable. It doesn't really matter because I'm not selling them.
Yeah.
These are everything had to go into the store. I get to keep this thing for me.
Yes.
The art is mine. But, you know, it was it wasn't a bad show. Like Friday, it had a really good vibe to it, which is something positive. I could say like Friday, everyone's feeling good. 3-day shows, you never expect to do a ton on Fridays. Like usually because people have the weekend pass, that's their like, where am I going to spend my money?
Okay, so the Friday's like the scouting.
Yeah.
They kind of go,
So
get a feel for where everything
we all
is.
got a good vibe on Friday. Everyone's like, vendors are excited. All the people who walk the floor are excited. It's a good vibe. Wrap up for the night. Saturday morning, there's a line outside, which is good. We all got a good vibe. And about midway through the day, you kind of feel it shift. Everyone's like, there's a lot of people here. And people come up to the table, and you're just like, I know how you enjoyed the show. And like, I can't tell you the number of people who are like, I'm enjoying myself. I haven't spent any money yet. I'm like, yeah, you and everyone else.
Oh, no.
And there was one vendor down the way. I heard at the end of the night, we this very complicated security system of you put a blanket over things.
But yes, because the blanket, it hides. It's like a cloak of invisibility.
Yeah. But I heard one guy
The
goes
crimson bands of the table covering.
just goes, I could leave all this uncovered and put out a sign that says free and still nothing would move.
Wow. Do you guys, like, as vendors, do you, like, go out and drink afterwards as a group of vendors? Do you have, like, vendors that you know from, like,
Oh, yeah.
other shows? You're like, oh, it's good to see you again, Bill, or...
I don't know any of their names. I'm just like, that guy, yeah.
Or do you know them by, like, the store name? Like, oh, there's that guy from Onomatopoeia.
You just more know him from, like, or at least I do. I know them more from, you talk to people, and I just pick up, like, on appearance, like, oh, you did this other show. Like, how's this one going for you? Blah, 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 that kind of crap.
So, wait a minute. I think the biggest takeaway I have is you're making small talk and being social with people.
I liked my free comics and signatures.
But wait a minute, you were being social and making small talk with strangers.
Well, I see them. I think I'm going to do 5 more shows this year.
Are they? Those are like the closest things you have to friends outside of your like 3-4 friends that you have.
They're my work buddies.
Oh God.
Speaking of work buddies, let's get into the news.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Hey, guess who forgot their notes at the store?
Me. I forgot my notes at the store.
Slacker. I had a weird evening.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
Nope. Probably not.
Oh yeah, probably not.
I feel like it's safer not to.
It's probably yes. We don't need to. Let things buff themselves out.
Jesus.
Just scratching the surface of your problems tonight.
Just gonna bleep that.
I'm gonna get a dent in this sooner or later. I've parked myself on the couch.
A real son of a bitch. So
that's no accident.
Let's start off with weird Marvel Comics news. Controversy has sparked.
Uh-oh, I love a good controversy.
Someone came up to me at the store a couple of days ago, and I hadn't heard about this yet. They're like, did you see all that stuff about there being anti-Semitic messages in X-Men Gold #1? I'm like, that's not real. That can't be a thing. You always hear, like, controversies get stirred up. Like, we saw the one a little while ago, which I wait till the story plays out, of, like, Magneto was going to become a Nazi, and how dare they do that to a Holocaust survivor? I'm like, I'm sure there's a thing happening here. Don't worry about it.
There's a plan.
But they're like, there was all this anti-Semitic imagery and coded messaging. I'm like, of course there wasn't. And I was wrong. It's right on Front Street.
Really?
The artist on the book, I'm probably going to massacre his pronunciation, which doesn't matter because we will literally never speak of him again. Adrian Syaf, Syaf.
Saif.
He's an Indonesian Muslim artist.
So Saif is probably how you pronounce his last name.
We'll never talk about him again after today.
All right, fair enough.
Does not matter. He included references in the art to the Quran. Apparently in Indonesia, there's a governor over there that's Christian, and there's a big uproar about they should have a Muslim governor. And he put references to the Quran of like a verse that's Christians and Jews are not our allies. They are our enemies and never follow them.
Uh-oh.
Which I'm paraphrasing here, by the way.
You're kind of cutting some corners.
I am, because I'm lazy and don't want to look it up the exact translation. But that's the gist of it. And what's even more weird about that in particular is the leader of this book is Kitty Pryde, who is one of the more prominent Jewish characters in the Marvel universe. So then he put a thing up on Facebook. He's like, my career's over. And then Marvel put out a statement. They're like, oh yeah, you're canned, buddy.
You're going to be looking for work.
I've had a bunch of people like come, that book sold out, and I had a bunch of people like, do you have it? It's going to be a good collector's item. The weird anti-Semitic collector's item that I want. No, it's gone.
And I'm not ordering anymore.
I can't. That's kind of funny, because I was looking today, because originally the book sold well, and then it became back ordered. and I wanted to get more of them, at that point I didn't even know about the thing. So I put in, like, you can do this thing. It's like, when there's more in stock, we'll send you an email. So I ordered a little bit more. I don't even know if they're going to show up now. Because if you go into Diamond right now, normally when you look up a certain item, like, even if it's not there, you'll have a bunch of different codes. It'll be like back ordered or out of stock. And you can at least see what's going on with it. So you can kind of be like, okay, I can never get this again, or I got to wait for another printing or whatever. It's gone.
It's not even there.
It's
not even listed.
It's 100% removed from the system. Like, oh, they pulled that.
Wah, wah.
So I ordered a couple. I have no idea if they're going to show up.
Oh, well. Will you get your money back at least?
No, because I'll never get charged for them.
Oh, you only get charged like COD?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Marvel has wiped their hands with this mess. I guess the guy's art is going to be an issue the next couple of issues because they've already gone to print, but they're going to have a couple of fill-in artists and then they'll find a replacement soonish. Like, this guy was at least solicited out through issue 5, and I'm not sure if they're just redoing the art in issues 4 and 5, or if the art was already at least somewhat or whatever, but issues like 2 and 3 still will have his art, and then after that, he is gone, baby, gone, and we'll never speak of him again. What a dumb thing to do.
Yes, that would be very Darwinian towards your career.
He basically didn't have a career,
He doesn't anymore either.
He was kind of like, here's a new name. Bye, name.
Yeah, you done screwed up, buddy.
You worked your entire life, made your way to like a top-tier Marvel book, flagship X-Men book. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and you get screwed over.
Not smart.
Well, he didn't get screwed over. He screwed himself over.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. Fire that guy.
Be gone with him.
If you just have, like, these hidden anti-Semitic, anti-Christian messages in your art, probably don't keep him employed.
No, time to move on. Time to cut bait.
It is hot in here. I'm going to open a window.
Okay, cool. It's the first open window podcast of the year.
Gonna open our one window. But that's Weird Comics news. You done up.
That's a lovely breeze. You know, it'd be a fun thing to do. Maybe we should do a live podcast recording at the store. People can come in and watch a live recording of the podcast.
Like no one would be there.
Like 3 people would be there.
Ooh, 3.
That's 3 more than are here now.
Interactive audience.
That's not including us. That's not 3 including us.
Let's just go from bad news to bad news. Michael Bay says there are 14 more Transformers movies in development.
Excuse me while I jump out your tiny window.
God, no.
Stop it, Michael Bay. Stop it.
How? They're all the same anyway. How can there be 14 more of the same? I believe that this has been pitched. I do not believe we will see this come to fruition. But boo.
I'm speechless and distraught. No, thank you.
Sad.
Upset.
Hashtag sad.
Forlorn. Morose.
I don't know how to take this news. Hopefully it'll be good. Because nothing like this has really come out yet. Marvel is going to do a comedy. They already announced one comedy, and then it kind of got quiet, so we'll see what's going on there. But they're going to release on what they call it, Freeform. It's what ABC Family used to be.
Yes.
Is that what it is now? The New Warriors are going to get a half-hour sitcom show, which is basically a bunch of teenage heroes. They'll be like, teen angst, but with comedy. And what the only confirmed character is going to be Squirrel Girl.
Oh.
She can talk to squirrels, and she's unbeatable.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there?
Mm-hmm. I did. And I'm sad.
Yes.
But she's a newish character. She's really popular.
Wasn't Marvel doing something with the
Damage Control?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You
just
read my
kind of
mind.
stopped talking about that because DC did basically the exact same idea with Powerless, and apparently everyone hates that.
Oh.
I haven't watched it. I have no opinion on it because I heard everyone hates it. So I didn't watch it.
That may mean you like it.
Good. I barely have time to watch new television. I made time for Better Call Saul today, though. My God, I'm glad it's back.
Was it good?
So damn good.
Good for you.
It's one of those. I hate watching it week to week. I can't wait though, but because they set up all these unanswered questions, then you got to wait. God knows how many episodes. I just want it all now.
Well, that's like part of a good TV show and good writing is it gets you to come back next week. If it was a bad TV show, you would be like, I don't really need to watch it next week.
I already bought the whole season. Just give it to me.
Oh.
Because I got to do it through iTunes.
Oh. Well, you're only going to get it as fast as they release it to everybody else.
No, I'll get it a day later. Damn it.
Okay, that sucks for you.
Daredevil Season 3 is going to begin shooting later this year. Good. Like the show. I already gave my pitch for what it should be.
Thank you.
I don't remember what I said. Something about Bullseye.
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe I said go to prison. Oh yeah, I said he goes to prison at the end. I think that was like my finale idea.
Yes.
We'll see.
Go back on one of the earlier episodes, like episode, I think it was 51.
Whenever I insulted Iron Fist and then
Yes.
told Marvel what to do.
Yes. Well,
Speaking of filming,
you insulted Marvel. You insulted Iron Fist 2 weeks in a row. So
probably. Star Wars episode. Speaking of filming, Star Wars Episode 9 is going to begin filming in July.
really accelerating the timeline on that.
Next week we should have a trailer.
Oh yes.
They're supposed to drop one this weekend at Star Wars Celebration.
Yes.
So we should get our first tease. Rumor has it anyway. There's going to be a massive panel. They got everyone.
Like, what was one of the rumors? I think I read a rumor that like Luke Skywalker is taking like a vow of silence and only will communicate via the Force.
No, because there's been some. Remember we talked about it a while ago. There was some footage that I forget how people saw it, but it's some kind of like film screeny press thing, and Luke talks.
Oh, good for
him. He
him.
says to Rey, he's like, "Who are you?"
Oh,
but like, yeah, everyone's gonna be at this panel. Like they're gonna have like George Lucas, Harrison Ford's coming out.
Really?
Hayden Christensen's coming out.
They're bringing out all the Ewan McGregor.
I assume, but it was, and they even got I forget his name, the guy who played Wedge and hates everything about Star Wars.
Oh, the guy who played Wedge Antilles.
Yeah. Ewan McGregor's uncle.
Oh,
it's okay. We don't.
Larson. Owen Larson. No, no.
No.
No. I know his name. I know his name.
You clearly don't.
I think Larson is in it. I want to say it's Owen something or Owen Larson. Stand by. Dennis Lawson. Dennis Lawson.
He hates everything about Star Wars, and he's going to be there. I think that's funny. We'll have a lot of Star Wars news next week. I'm excited. Star Wars.
I love it.
The Inhumans TV show, a synopsis has been released.
Please synopsize me.
Get ready for this. You ready for this? Whatever it is.
Yes.
After the royal family of Inhumans is splintered by a military coup, they barely escape to Hawaii, where their surprising interactions with the lush world and humanity around them may prove not only to save them, but Earth itself.
Sounds a lot like the plot to Avatar.
I wanted them to stay on the moon. But I'm sure that's much more expensive.
The moon is quite expensive to live on, I believe.
I'm sure they get no tax credit for shooting on the moon. More Star Wars news.
Yes, please.
Carrie Fisher is going to appear in Episode 9. Kind of unclear how. Her brother confirmed it, and Lucasfilm went to them and asked if they could use old footage of her. So I don't know if that just means they're going to be cutting stuff from what was going to be in episode 8, or maybe some unused stuff from 7, and compiling together. But basically, like, the character's too big not to be there. So in one form or another, and she's already, like, in this story, like, it's a real bummer, because after episode 7, so much of the story seemed to be pointing in her direction. Like, your kid's a friggin' psycho, and it's the opposite of a baby mama. Your absentee father
is dead.
Yeah. Not her absentee father. Well, he's also dead. But
deadbeat dad?
Yeah.
Han Solo's not deadbeat, though.
He completely left when he's like, raising the kid's hard. We don't know if they got married or not. As far as we know, they were just shacking up. They were living in sin.
Han Solo's not a deadbeat dad.
Apparently, he sucks at it.
Well, his son did kill him. I mean, I guess you could make an argument. I'm going to say, though, he's not a deadbeat dad.
For the new season of Doctor Who, the companion, I forget the actress's name, she's going to be playing someone called Bill. Bill will be the first openly gay Doctor Who companion.
Good for them.
Yeah, really all I have to say there.
That's not really, I mean, it's news, but it really shouldn't have to be news.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of, even that's what the actress said. She's like, it doesn't really matter. But here's the thing we're doing.
Bravo.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That's my guy right there. You smell what he's cooking?
Well, he's cooking a movie called Black Adam.
Oh, yes, we talked about this.
Yeah, he talked about the Black Adam's going to have his solo movie, and Shazam's going to have his own movie. And he kind of made it sound like he's not going to be in the Shazam movie at all, like they were going to be world building so they could confront each other further down the road. So we'll see what's happening there. That was a weird little statement he put out.
By the way, one of the Fast and Furious trailers was playing the other day, and it was the line that he said when we saw it in the theater that made you go, oh, wow. Do you remember the line?
I remember there was one line that you couldn't stop giggling at.
I'm going to beat you like a Cherokee drum.
What does that mean?
It means he's going to beat him like a Cherokee drum.
Doesn't mean anything.
They beat the war drum loudly to let people know that this shit's going to happen. Even you, when he said that, you went, oh, wow.
That is Dumb line.
That's not dumb. It's straightforward. It explains what's going on.
The opposite of straightforward.
Have you okay? What else could you possibly surmise by getting beat on like a drum?
You just say, I'm gonna punch you in the face, right in the schnoz.
That's also very direct.
A little
Yes,
more
I get
direct,
that,
yeah.
but I think it's not as colorful as saying you're gonna beat somebody like a war drum.
No, it's bad. It's bad. I don't like it. No, I've also missed the last 7 Fast and the Furious movies.
I saw a picture the other day. It's like, when did this? And it was just like a picture of the street racing go from street racing to this, and it's like the sub breaking up through the water and then racing cars on the Arctic plain.
I've seen the first one.
The first one was actually pretty good.
I haven't seen it since it came out. I don't really remember.
I saw the first one. I tried to watch the second one, but when they jumped the shark by literally jumping a drawbridge, and Ludacris was like, I got something special planned for tonight's race. And they broke into the drawbridge and set it up. If somebody didn't hit that right, they're going to die. They're committing, not only they're committing a crime, but now they're committing a felony.
Damn crimes. Damn criminals. Speaking of criminals, no segue there. Doesn't even go with what I'm going to talk about. Tyler Hoechlin, didn't pronounce that right.
Oh, good for you.
Is going to return as Superman in the Supergirl season finale. Good. I liked him as Superman. He had kind of a smile and a wink everywhere he went.
Very
shook
campy,
everyone's hands.
Like that you were all about it.
Yeah, I liked him. He was good as Superman. Glad to see him back. He showed up in the first 2 episodes. I'll be happy to see him return to the role. It's a good show. I like it.
Nice.
Except I don't know what the hell to do with Jimmy Olsen anymore.
Oh, speaking of Supergirl, is Terry Hatcher's character still floating around the planet Earth, plotting her revenge?
There was a mid-season break. I haven't seen it in a little bit.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Sorry, I can't tell you.
Okay. I just know that she killed Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, that was the episode that they broke on.
Oh, the mid-season finale.
Yeah, so I haven't seen anything since.
By the
then.
way, I don't like the phrasing a mid-season finale. It can't be a finale in the middle of something.
What would you rather call it? Mid-season stop-a-rooney?
I mean, that's a little more festive. I don't know, but the
mid-season break.
Yeah, because the mid-season finale is it just feels like, why don't you just do shorter seasons?
I think, God, who polluted that idea? I think it was probably Walking Dead. They're like, we have a big thing in the middle and a big thing at the end and a lot of filler in between.
Yeah. Or you call it your mid-season cliffhanger.
What a show I do not like. And then last bit of news, and I wish I had my notes in front of me because I did a breakdown. It wasn't a very big breakdown because there wasn't a lot. This is a good trailer. Hit a lot of things.
Yes.
But Thor Ragnarok had a trailer. Came out of nowhere.
It was really good, too.
There wasn't even a poster teasing the trailer. There wasn't a trailer for the trailer. There wasn't an announcement for the... They just dropped it. They're like, boom.
Literally dropped it because it starts with Thor dropping.
Yep. And what looks like he is going to be in Hell. That is Hell with one L.
Yes.
That is controlled by Hela, who's played by Cate Blanchett. The idea is that people who go... Asgardians that go to Hell are the Asgardians who died in a way that wasn't in battle. If you die in battle, you go to Valhalla. If you just, trip over a root or something and crack your head, you go to Hell.
Nice.
With a 1L. What do we see in that trailer? We see Hela going up against the Valkyries, and we're going to have the main Valkyrie, referred to as Valkyrie, played by Tessa Thompson. I know her from the romantic interest in Creed.
Yes.
You haven't seen that. It's shameful.
I know. I'm going to get on that on vacation.
Such a good movie.
We'll have to watch it on vacation.
And she's good. She's good in the movie. I like her a lot in that flick. And so, I'm excited to see her. We see the planet of Sakaar, which is from Planet Hulk. I guess what they're going to be doing, and you can see it, pervasively throughout the entire trailer, there are all of these wormholes that are open, and I guess people just dump their crap there. That's why, Thor shows up in, a junk pile.
Oh, nice.
But you can see that, throughout the entire trailer, any shots behind anyone, you can just see that there are all these wormholes that are open, which is probably how our best buddy the Hulk gets there, somehow.
Oh, what else did we see in that? Oh, we saw Mjolnir getting crushed.
Yeah, that hammer's been broken half a dozen times. In the Avengers Infinity War promo art, it looks like he didn't have the hammer with some other weapon. It's probably his axe, Jambjorn? Yamborn? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yes.
Stupid Asgard talk.
Well, yeah, okay.
Other characters we see Grandmaster played by Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. We get some Loki.
A little bit. We see him fighting. It's kind of unclear what he's fighting.
Or who he's fighting.
Yeah. We don't know what side he's on. He's usually just in it for himself.
But he was sitting on that couch with Grandmaster.
He was. What's really funny is you can see him be like he's a little kind of twitchy.
Yeah.
Which, consider the last time he saw the Hulk, when the Hulk was just slapping him around like
Yes.
a rag doll. I would too be twitchy, but like it's like you see your high school bully and he's still like friggin' jacked.
Yes.
Are those still a thing?
High school bullies?
I don't know. I didn't know.
Oh, sure, absolutely. You probably were the bully then.
No. Yeah, I mean, I had an elementary school bully.
Everybody gets bullied at some point.
He was a couple of years older than me. Now I'm like a foot taller than him.
Find him now and like, hey, remember me? I'm Zach Bowen.
I'm like, no.
Oh, okay. Fine.
This
And then,
feels so unjustified.
what if he's like, you find him and you're like, hey, I'm Zach Bowen. It's like, oh, hey, Zach,
And
it's
then he
good to see
beats
you.
me up.
Oh, not if he beats you up, but like,
That'd be much worse if a short man beat me up.
what if
now.
you find him and he's down on his luck or something and you're like ready to kick his ass and he's like, you're like, I'm going to beat the hell out of you. And he's like, I'm homeless.
Then I'll hurt him with words and mockery.
Oh, you're homeless? Well, I have a nice big house and you don't. And then he kicks your ass and steals the keys to your house.
I feel like every scenario of this, I have to lose the fight.
Yes. That would be funny. I would laugh.
It's fine. It's a long time ago.
We see him getting his hair cut.
Yep.
And
That's about that.
he puts on the a different form of the winged helmet.
Man has some killer triceps.
Oh my, he's jacked.
Then we get the Hulk fight,
Yes.
which we knew was coming. That's so funny. And I usually, when I watch trailers, I very rarely, like I know there are like trailer reaction videos online where everyone's like, wow, ah, ah. Usually when I watch a trailer, I'm just like, all right, cool. I might make like a small grunt at it, but this one, when he gets super excited, like, yeah, I laugh.
Yes. I know him from work.
That made me laugh. So it's a good sign if a trailer could get like an actual reaction versus like I'm faking it for the cameras. Like, oh!
He also kind of breaks the fourth wall in the beginning of the trailer.
Yeah, there's narration, so they haven't had that in Iron Man 3 had narration, but that's been the only one. So we'll see what that is.
Yes, but we find out at the end that the narration was him talking to Bruce the whole time.
Huh? Oh, in Iron Man 3.
Yes.
I thought you meant in Thor. I'm like,
No.
where the hell was that?
I've seen an advanced screening copy of Ragnarok.
But it looks good. I'm excited for this one.
It looks legitimately good. And as you said last night last night or today when I texted you? It was last night.
Yeah.
You're like, I like anything that looks like a 70s album cover.
It does. Because they got like every other, it's the trend now to have a iconic pop song, and they got Zeppelin in there.
Yes, I wouldn't call the Immigrant Song a pop song. That's a rock song.
I call it a pop. Pop just means popular.
Oh.
Pop has been perverted with your...
It's not mine.
Your Miley Cyruses and your Taylor Swift.
She's not mine. She's not mine.
Oh, you know that stuff well better than I do.
That's true, I do. I mean, I live...
Demi Lovato, is that one?
Not anymore. She used to be like back in the day.
But yeah, I wish I had my notes in front of me because that's what I remember off the top of my dome.
No, that was pretty much it.
The only kind of background thing, aside from all the wormholes, there was where you see the Grandmaster and Loki, like all the people that are sitting up. There's like one guy who's dressed as a Celestial, so I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if it's like some kind of like court jester thing or some kind of worship thing. Who the hell knows?
Out of this world.
We do see Idris Elba for half a tick.
Oh yes, he does. He's in the woods fighting.
Yep, with Hela. And we see the Valkyries on their Pegasi.
I saw the Pegasus. You ever see that Key and Peele sketch?
I guess not.
Oh, you need to. It's funny.
Most of what they did was funny.
Yes.
Some funny fellows. But that will do it for the news. Let's get in. Oh yeah, we signed a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Paul.
Nah, sorry.
I think it's fantastic.
Enjoy your shirt that you can't wear in public.
Oh, sure you could.
But we're out of the news. Let's get into Jared's reading corner.
Jared's reading corner.
It's Jared's reading corner.
Yeah, sure. So just repeat the names after me.
I will. So we have a piece of history here with us tonight on the show.
Yeah, so
This is...
before we get into it, I'm going to give you the history.
Yeah, please do.
Because like I said, what we're talking about today is my very first comic.
And it's in sensational shape, by the way.
It's not my original.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't remember how.
So
all of my comics.
I treated this very, reverently.
At some point, all of my comics went away. I don't remember the context or the why. I mean, they were also super overread. So they were beat to all hell. Who knows what happened? I do not remember. But what kind of started me on this whole path where I am now, when I was little, I was like the perfect age for all of the animated shows are coming out. We got like 89 Ninja Turtles, you got Batman the Animated in 92, and then you get the X-Men series also in 92. And then that spun out. Marvel had a million shows. They had Spider-Man. The Hulk had a quick show. Fantastic Four had like a season. Iron Man. Everyone had a thing. Swamp Thing had a quick show. It was like 8 episodes. Something real short. People like they were just hitting all of these major comic properties, and I was like the perfect age to watch all these cartoons as a kid. You know, I was probably, I don't know, 6 and under or 6-ish when they were all happening. Like, good age for Saturday morning cartoons. You get up, you try to convince your family there's nothing to do that day because you just want to watch like 2.5 hours of cartoons.
I had like the golden age. I felt like Saturday morning cartoons. I had Ninja Turtles. What else was on Saturday mornings? I can't remember. Ninja Turtles was the big one. Had to be up for Ninja Turtles.
But then after that, I was in the grocery store back when it was a Shop and Save.
Wow, that's old school.
The Shop and Save in Yarmouth.
Do you remember Laverdiers? Did you have a Laverdiers?
No, we didn't.
I had a Laverdiers.
I'm aware of them, but they weren't in our area. It was the Shop and Save in Yarmouth, and they used to get comics in. So I asked for this, and this is the one that I got. What's really funny is I never went back to this series. There were a couple of Spider-Man series, and I just didn't know the difference. Like this is Sensational Spider-Man, and then I ended up reading Spectacular Spider-Man after this. I was like, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then I stuck to the Spectacular series.
Easily confused.
A good long while, but I started here with the Sensational Spider-Man number 12. And kind of a funny side story before we get into it. This is a defining piece of like personal history for me.
Yes.
I have tried and failed to find, I don't know if you know this or not, but I enjoy a bit of comic art.
Yes.
Bit of original art to hang.
Yes.
You just look up, you're like, yeah, I can tell.
You were trying to find a page from this book?
I've reached out to everyone. I reached out to the writer. I reached out to the artist, and he checked, and nothing came of that. I reached out to the inker. The inker does not work in comics anymore. He's now like some kind of like major professor at a university. I had to email his like .edu address.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, hey, man.
And was he like, man, I don't do that anymore?
Oh, but, I mean, he just basically is like, look, I either sold it or threw that stuff away years ago. Which, I mean, you know, you can't always... I found one piece of this art online, but it was posted years ago. I tried contacting the guy, never heard back, because he put it up like 10 years ago. But I have tried and failed. I want a piece of art from this book.
So if you're looking to get Zach a gift...
If you're looking to make a buck...
Yeah. If you're looking to make a pretty penny...
If you happen to have a page of this specific book, I want it. But I have tried and failed to find a piece of art from this just because it is such a seminal book for me.
Wow.
It's kind of a one-off, which is nice. It was a good way to get into it. But
yes.
All right. So Jared's reading corner away.
It's called The Final Trap. It's on the cover, but inside the actual title is A Matter of Respect. I was very confused.
It's one of those two. The Final Trap is a matter of respect.
Yes. So anyway, the premise of the story is that it seems like Spider-Man is coming back out of like a little mini retirement.
Yep.
And
we get the ginger with a mullet.
Yes, Ginger Spider-Man.
That confused the hell out of me.
Well.
Who's this kid? Oh, it's Spider-Man. He's a mullet and red hair.
Yes, but anyway, he's kind of coming back out of retirement and really kind of pushed into it because the trickster, Trapster.
Yeah.
Sorry. Isn't there a trickster?
Yes.
Okay. The Trapster is coming out of... Wasn't the trickster last week in an Amalgam comic?
Trickster is a Flash villain.
My apologies.
Played by Mark Hamill in both the 1990 and 2014 Flash show.
By the way, could he not have any more early 90s, like mid-90s hair with like the double flip in the front?
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad.
But he's also wearing
so of the time.
the button-up shirt with the long sleeve underneath it, rolled up.
So, Peter Parker, photojournalist or just photographer, I don't know what the hell he is.
A photojournalist.
He rolls up on a scene where people are like, it's definitely Spider-Man who did this thing, because we see these guys hanging from a light post with
Gooped up.
a sticky substance is holding them.
And he's like, no, it's not Spider-Man in his like internal monologue. But J. Jonah Jameson's like, absolutely, it is. And I love this panel here. He's like drooling, and his cigar is never like in his mouth.
I love the floating cigar. The cigar is like very rarely actually in his mouth. He spends so much time yelling, it's like constantly falling out.
Yes.
The thing with that was a big thing in the 90s. Like whenever people would like yell, you would always see like the saliva in their mouths.
Yeah.
That was a weird 90s trope that thankfully went away. But I really do. It's funny.
You got the typical Peter Parker defending Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man would not have ever done this and change on him. He's like, I'm going to say what I want to say about Spider-Man, and I'm going to pretty much commit libel and get away with it.
What I really love too is like, so Marvel has a no smoking rule now. Everyone is smoking in this, like constantly, like in the office, everywhere.
Oh yeah, Ben at the front desk smoking.
Ben Urich, who you may have heard of before. Turn those pages gentler, thank you. They are.
Sorry.
Well, that'll pick up on Mike. That's actually the page I found online.
Oh, the one here where with
The Trapster.
the Trapster.
So the Trapster, for those
who's going to stage the most sensational career comeback since John Travolta.
So the Trapster, he was a minor villain and still is. And his original name was Paste Pot Pete.
Yes, which Spider-Man references later on in this.
But what's really funny, so like my first book, and I have no real concept of like irony, I guess, as a child, because the Trapster rolls up, and I think this dude is menacing. And I didn't get for years that they were like going for this guy who like thinks he's really hardcore, but really
He's over the top, but he sucks.
Yeah, he's just the word. Like he wants to be this big menacing threat, and really he's nothing. And it's so cheesy in a wonderful way. Like you see him, he's plotting. Don't fold that back.
Sorry.
He's plotting against Spider-Man by like he has a chessboard that he's using, moving pieces around very dramatically. He's not playing chess with anyone. He's just a jackass with a chessboard.
Yes, but he's also gone head to head with the Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and Captain America.
He all like just lost horribly as like this big C-list villain. But because of this book, I got a real soft spot for the Trapster. Whenever he shows up, I'm like, Trapster! He has a glue gun!
Yes.
Woo! Oh, by the way, we didn't mention that. That's his thing. He has a glue gun.
Yes. It's a hot glue gun.
That's his whole shtick.
Gallons and gallons of glue. Which, by the way, that's kind of clever. I mean, the call yourself the Trapster and like fling glue around. But he's legitimately upset that Spider-Man got front page headlines.
Because they're like, oh, clearly this is Spider-Man, not Paste Pot Pete.
And then I love the typical, you just spit right there.
Yeah, little spittle.
A little spittle from Paste Pot Pete. But he like does the whole typical chessboard routine and like flicks over the pieces like, I'm going to win.
Like a pawn knocks over a
rook.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rook, just so you're...
Yeah, what a weird... Whatever. It's so strange. He's just by himself and it's so over the top. And I know the 90s get a bad rap. I think this one is really funny.
Yes.
They have a guy who thinks he's just so intense, but everything they show him doing is so lame and just dumb. I actually really like this. In hindsight, I like this issue. Not just hopefully not just with the eyes of nostalgia, but if you like you're reading it, it's kind of
I also love
funny.
his typical C-list villain monologues. I spent a lifetime studying the subtleties of capture, the feigns and thrusts of predator and prey.
What is this? It's so...
I'm a master of moving a victim into the fatal position.
Jesus, it's so... I love it. This is so funny. It's so good. It's so well written. You don't see this as much now, but we see Spider-Man swinging around the city. And at the time, this is a big 90s thing, Spider-Man was essentially made of just any malleable position. Like he was doing all these inhuman body shapes, which I kind of miss.
Yeah.
And he's a little... I mean, clearly he does, whatever a spider can in now, but I think it was kind of Todd McFarlane who started that.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
I kind of miss the old hyper-exaggerated poses of Spider-Man. They're very dynamic on the page.
Yes.
There's a couple of things the Trapster does that I'm like, that is a fate worse than death.
Getting stuck in the glue.
Well, it's not... It almost looks like coils more than it is just like straight glue. We have a guy who is encapsulated in like maybe like a third of his face is sticking out. Like he can't move his mouth because it's like stuck open in this screaming position. His one eye that's not covered in glue is bugging out. It's almost going up his nose. And the guy is freaking out like he's alive and encased in this. And I have to imagine you might have a 2nd-degree burn, maybe a 3rd.
Man, it's very much possible that you're going to come over. Again, by the way, also shows this in the 90s. Here's a line from Spidey. Probably somebody that dissed the Trapster in the past. And dissed is in bold letters.
But Spider-Man's trying to find him. He's going all around the city. Keeps finding guys who have been shot with a glue gun.
I like these guys that are like pasted to the car. Yo, hey, Spider-Man, you got to help us, Holmes. And he goes, what were you guys doing? Playing your car stereo too loud? I kind of hate that myself. Just a little bit of the Spidey snark right there.
Spider-Man not actually helping anyone.
No.
And then, oh man, then we get to some like, again, this as a child, like really ran with my imagination. We see the Trapster who's going to take a guy down. and he's gonna shoot glue like up this guy's nose.
Nose,
I'm like,
yeah.
That like, and I could just like picture it and feel like glue like shooting up your nose, like going into your brain and just solidifying. That sounds horrible.
Sniffing glue. This is why you should not sniff glue.
The trapster will get you.
Yes, he will.
Spider-Man confronts him, and really, this is my favorite panel of this whole thing.
Where he's got the
two of them are standing off, like they are about arm's length away from each other. Like Spider-Man has his hand up in the web shooting position, like right in front of the trapster's face, and the trapster in turn has his arm with his glue gun right in Spider-Man's face, and it's this great panel of the standoff.
Yes, and I also like the fight. Like Spidey's like, "Yep, got him," and then he missed. I'm rusty. I forgot he has a chemical lubricant.
Yeah.
That allows him to slip out of any situation.
I love it. He has, not only does he have glue, he has
a lubricant.
Yeah, he also has a lube gun. So he glues himself behind a taxi and shoots his lube in front of him to be pulled away.
Yeah, be dragged.
Like he's ice skating.
So Spidey and the Trapster end up at this building that's under construction.
Site.
Yeah, typical location for these kinds of meetups. And
I'm surprised you're not mentioning the last time we read a '90s book. You're like, look at the ads.
Oh well, yeah. Well, we'll come back and talk about some of the ads. I forgot about there's M&M Minis.
I remember those.
By the way, the Sonic 3D Blast game for the Genesis.
That game sucks.
And Game Gear. Yeah, it was not a fun game.
So slow.
What was the other one that was? Oh, the one that really stood out to me. The advertisement was the sprinkling the magic crystals, Dannon.
This I do not remember.
Yogurt. But what you did with the ad is you took the A and the B and you folded the page over. It's like a trifold, and it spelled out. It was like a different thing.
Yeah,
that was kind of a cool.
That's a very '90s thing.
Walk down memory lane. Oh, but I knew this was definitely from the '90s because the first advertisement on the inside cover is Glenn Close in 101 Dalmatians. So there's that.
Spider-Man goes to this construction site and he's going to swing it, but he notices all of this glue that's hanging from the girders. He's like, haha, I won't touch your glue.
Not going to get me. I like this panel where he's like, in like 4 different images, you can tell he's doing his backflip thing.
Yeah, where it's kind of the color is a little muted, so you can tell that it's like in motion. It looks really good.
By the way, it wasn't glue. It was lubricant because he slips off. Yeah, like this. Huh? The lubricant?
And something that I wish they would bring back. I miss thought bubbles. They don't do them now.
He's always just thinking it. He's internally speaking.
People just like, they'll say stuff out loud and now they'll kind of mute the word bubbles to make it look like they're whispering. Like, why are they whispering to themselves all the time? Just have a thought bubble. Bring back thought bubbles.
So he falls into the trap, though.
The final trap.
The final trap is a big like dumpster full of glue.
Because of course it is.
And above the dumpster of glue is a generator that's perched so precariously next to me that weighs several tons, says the Trapster. But he has it like
Paste
attached.
pot Pete.
Paste pot Pete. But he has it attached with like his glue.
Yes.
But he has a solvent that's dripping onto it.
Yes, because he also has a solvent ready to go at all. Which I guess if your whole shtick is glue, you need a solvent.
You need some sort of adhesive remover.
You need a lube. You need a solvent.
Yes. So anyway, he's like, I love this. I'm gonna squash you like a bug.
And then he leaves.
He just leaves.
He's like, all right, you're gonna die.
He says,
this is the James Bondiest thing he could have done. He's like, all right.
He says, hasta la pasta, insect.
Whew, that is a rough line.
Yeah.
But it also just shows, I don't blame, I'm not like, it's bad writing. It just shows how lame the Trapster is.
Yes, but I also love that Spider-Man's like, I don't know what I'm mad about. That I'm going to get flattened or that I lost to this loser.
In my mind, though, like as a kid, because this came out, according to the book, January 97, I seem to remember as a kid, I don't know if it was just like maybe Hannafords were getting them late or something, but the months and the years never quite matched up. Like I always felt like the books were ahead of, I don't remember if that's true or not, though. That might just be my memory playing tricks on me.
Yes.
But the solvent's going off and Spider-Man swings a web so specifically to catch the
falling generator.
The generator that pulls him out at the last second, which I feel like it would have been a lot funnier if it just ripped his arm off, then he was crushed.
Yes. The end.
The glue was too strong, and Spider-Man died.
Yes. Your glue is too strong. I like that. He's like, I'm just going to go home now and lick my wounds and find a book on how to be Spider-Man. But then there's like one panel with Mary Jane and Aunt Anna. And by the way, Mary Jane, definitely not wearing a bra around the house.
Thank you for that commentary.
You're welcome. I'm just pointing it out there.
I also miss Spider-Man 90's eyes. I miss how big the eyes were.
The big eyes. I like that he doesn't have like the web underarm, like the underpit.
Oh, I like that.
I don't like that.
I don't know. It's such a classic look for me. I like.
Well, he looks like a flying squirrel or a
Has-
sugar glider or something.
Has no damn point, but I always like the underarm web. I don't know. It just feels kind of old school to me.
Yeah.
I also agree. It's totally useless.
Yes. So next day, well, first of all, he's having like the worst Spider-Man day ever because he doesn't have a key to get into the house or clothes to change into. So he's like screwed. He's just like hanging out in the yard, like, oh, I'm here.
Because no one will notice a guy and just Spider-Man is sitting on top of this one
Yeah,
like,
nobody's
spot in
gonna-
Queens. He's like, just hanging out.
Nobody's gonna know Spider-Man. So the next day, Peter Parker is continuing to make his argument, and I could feel like,
A mulleted Peter Parker. I feel like his hair has also changed colors multiple times in this book.
yes, like from there to there to there, and like 3 different panels, 4 different panels. I will say this though, I feel like the J. Jonah Jameson from this, like, it reminds me of the J.K. Simmons J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah.
Because he's like, Peter Parker's like, these pictures show that Spider-Man was fighting the Trapster. And then Jonah Jameson's like, for all we know, they were in cahoots. Then they got mad cow disease and started pounding on each other.
Also, mad cow disease. What a 90s
Very
thing to
90s,
say.
yes. But the whole thing ends up with,
A cliffhanger.
yeah, a cliffhanger. Yeah, we're sending you to the Savage Land.
The Savage Land, with a tropical spot in Antarctica.
Yes, because the ice caps are melting, the glaciers, and draining into the Savage Land.
And what happens after this issue?
Well,
Well, I don't know, because like I said, I accidentally switched over to Spectacular Spider-Man after this.
yes.
Which is also, I really like that. It was a good run.
And then you get some the back end, like the bullpen bulletins and the advertising to get you to read the next what else is coming out that's hot and exciting and so on and so forth.
Yeah, this is the book that got me into comics. I don't know. It's one of those. It's just a random.
It's a nice
It
one-off.
feels like a fill-in issue, but
Yeah.
God, I like it. I really do. And maybe I'm seeing it a bit nostalgically, but I enjoy the book.
I think you're seeing it a lot nostalgically, but I thought it was fun. It was a nice quick read.
I don't know. I think the writing on it is maybe not as clever as I gave it credit for, like when I was a kid.
Well, you're 25 years older. Well, no, like 20 years
I'm not
older.
going to worry about the math.
You're
Wait,
older.
97. That's easy math. We're in
Oh.
2017.
Yeah, 20 years older.
There we go.
See? No, I think it's fun. It's an interesting little dive in. I've always liked Spider-Man, so it was fun to read a Spider-Man book.
And now you get some insight into my personal history.
Do you have your own personal glue gun that you just kind of hose everything down and you just solvent for afterwards?
No, glue sticky. I don't like it.
What?
Glue sticky. I don't like it.
Okay.
Ugh.
What? Well, can you say it again like that? I don't like it. Ugh.
I remember as a kid.
Hipster Zach has stepped into the show
You
now.
just spit on me. It's a lot
Well,
of spit flying in this show.
Turnabout is fair play.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. I like this book.
Nostalgia, you like it.
It's good. It's very 90s, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. I enjoy the hell out of it.
Some of the writing now doesn't hold up like it did then.
It's a little.
It's a
little
7-year-old
extra
Zach.
over the top.
It's a little baby Zach.
Yeah, 20 years ago, man.
LBZ.
20 years later, I still like this book.
Nice.
And the Trapster, who I will always have a soft spot for.
What about reading recommendations outside of this? If you're looking
For the Trapster, nothing. I don't know, man. He just shows up occasionally.
Oh.
There's no good Trapster out there.
What about if you're looking to jump into some Spidey though?
I will do some of that later this year.
Well, right now, if somebody's like, "Oh, Spider-Man," I've always wanted to read a Spider-Man book. What's a quick, easy Spider-Man to jump into?
The one that people usually cite as being like the best one. Go read Kraven's Last Hunt. It was originally supposed to be a Batman story, but they deemed it too dark for Batman.
So they gave it to Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's a good book.
I feel like you've said that before on the show. So
Oh, probably.
yeah, but so read it.
Yeah, that is really good. I think we're going to do that one later this year.
Okay.
Decided yet. With our malleable schedule. But moving on from there, we're going into...
Letters.
Am I supposed to finish
You
it?
say 2.
Oh, God. 2
The editors.
Oh, that.
Yeah, I love it.
I did not like that at all.
Well, you're not up for new and exciting things.
Lot of questions, number one. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
I'm running low. I'm down to like just a couple. So if you can send more letters in. I was going through the kind of backlog to see what we had, and I found one that was like, your favorite gift you've ever received. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it was sent like right around Christmas. So that one's not really applicable right now. No, we'll save it. Don't answer it. We have a question for after Christmas.
All right.
So I got 1 week planned, but I need to fill in the rest.
There's only 51 other weeks in the year.
No. We're a few weeks into the year.
Yeah, we are.
How's your New Year's resolution going? Up nothing.
What was my New Year's resolution?
Nothing. You didn't have one.
Oh, that's right. I'm hanging in there. I haven't broke it yet.
I think it was get fat.
Hey, I'm working on that too.
It was easy.
Yeah. You also seem to have taken my New Year's resolution.
It was a lot easier than making a healthy choice.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have a New Year's resolution?
No. I think they're stupid.
I resolved to not have one, and I still don't have one.
What's a comic out there you haven't read that you'd be interested in reading?
Some more Amalgam.
No, boo. Never. We'll never do another Amalgam episode.
I feel like Craven's last time, you've built it up. I'd like to read it.
Will.
Yeah.
Maybe we will do more Amalgam. If someone brings it into the store, because I'm not hunting it down.
You should collect all of the Amalgam issues.
No. I was trying to think if there's a big one I haven't read. Oh, you know what I haven't read that I know is like usually up there in people's like top 5 like things you must read?
No, I don't.
Okay, well there you go. Sandman. I haven't read a lot of Sandman. That's a Neil Gaiman book, and I like Neil Gaiman as a writer, both as a comic writer, a TV writer, a novelist. He's a good writer, and I've read a lot of his stuff, and Sandman is one of these, like, this is a seminal comic. I've never read it. I've read, like, 2 issues of it.
Well, then maybe you should read it.
Yes, thank you.
I'm giving you some life advice. Maybe you should make an April resolution.
Yeah. No, I've just, like, scratched the surface on Sandman. It's one of those ones where I know it's supposed to be amazing. I know there's also not a ton of it out there. Like, I could read all of it. It wouldn't be that hard. I've just never read Sandman. So, for shame on me.
Fie on you, sir. Fie on you.
A slap on the wrist. Thank you.
Theater of the mind.
Now you've ruined it.
Oh, well, you can edit that part out. But you won't.
Do what I want with my own editing. Stop. You don't need to be that close to me.
Sorry.
You could be a ways away and it would still have the same effect. There you go.
You're just like watching me hit myself.
Please, sir, can I have some more? Thank you. You can find the show over, I'll do the special plug first. I think I gotta make sure this will actually work. Maybe I'll do a test run before we sit down and say we're gonna do it to make sure it works. But I think we're gonna do a video episode that'll make a Patreon exclusive for our Guardians of the Galaxy review.
Ooh.
Which will also be relatively unedited. I'll clean up the sound on it, but I don't have the means to really go through and fully edit things down and match it all up to like the millisecond on the sound in the video. It's kind of a boring
So you
detail.
get like the raw,
essentially,
uncensored.
I might do some censoring. I'll mark those down.
The raw, mostly censored.
But yeah, I think I'll do an exclusive video show if you kind of want to see behind the curtain for our. I think I'm gonna try for our Guardians of the Galaxy one. If I don't have it ready by then sorry.
Can we give them like a little video tour of the podcast studio?
We'll do. Yeah, it could be a good video one day.
Yeah, we can like take a look at the art on the walls and
one day.
One day.
But yeah, there'll be a Patreon thing. If you want to support the show, get the show a day early, give $1 a month, you get this show a day before everyone else, and also apparently a video podcast I'm gonna try and set up. And you also get my other show, the Buffy Back Issue, been a week early, a whole week, because I'm like 2 months ahead on that show, which is helpful. I'm not gonna be able to maintain that. I'm gonna fall behind.
Well, I mean, you have 2 months to allow it to go away.
To fall behind.
Yes.
But you can find me over at editorsnotecomics.com on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Physically at my store at 210 Water Street. The show's on YouTube. For iTunes, please rate, review, subscribe if you can. I know you can. You're just not. The percentage of reviews that we have versus the listenership we have is...
I haven't gone on recently and read... Do we have new reviews?
Not really.
Oh.
It's kind of we have a lot more listeners.
I remember our first review was about the sump pump.
Was it?
Yes.
It's less of an issue now. I dug a drain.
I kind of feel like I want to go back and listen to the first episode.
I don't. You can. But enjoy. Whenever people are like, I started listening to your show, I went back to the beginning. I'm like, ew, God, sorry.
And you're still listening to the show?
Please jump ahead.
Yeah, just stay relevant. Stay current.
It gets better.
Except for the New Year's show. Don't listen to the New Year's show.
I liked that one. Other people hated it.
Well, I think
some people liked it.
The concept was good. The execution was poor.
It was controversial.
I wonder if any of the things that we said were going to happen have happened. Have we been on point with anything?
I don't know. I'm not going to go back and listen.
Oh.
And then you're on Twitter.
Yes, at Junior Rich. That's easy. Any big sales? Any shows coming up? Anything that we need to know about?
Not really. I think the next show I'm doing is going to be Bangor. That's next month.
Are you worried about the flooding?
No, I'm just going to have to park on the street.
Oh. Get your car washed?
Yeah, it's not going to really affect my life. I'm just going to park on higher ground.
Nice. What would you do? What if there was a big flood of 87 type flood. How quickly could you pack the store up and get your stuff out of there?
I would just getting stuff off the bottom. It wouldn't take me that long.
Well, no, the flood of 87, your shop would have been like waist deep or like shoulder deep in water.
I don't know. I mean, packing up for a show and that's not even coming close to packing the whole store is like half a day.
Would you like enlist help from other people?
Oh, I'm sure. Like, get your ass over here.
Yeah. Hey, leave your job and come down here.
Because I mean, even what's worse, packing up the store isn't bad. It's unpacking. Packing takes me maybe half a day. Unpacking is a legit all-day ordeal. After a show, it's a solid like
because you got to put stuff back where it belongs.
It's a solid 7.5 hours. Like I did it Monday. Open for 8 hours. I finished up like 4 minutes before close.
Wow.
Woo! Worked on this all day. It's coming back from a show is not fun.
Well, but you know what? You had a good time. You saw Greg Brady.
I did see Greg Brady. I think the saddest thing I saw was Friday night. It was like getting close to close. A lot of celebrities don't show up they weren't showing up until Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a loop because I'm bored. Because Fridays usually get bored. And I see Sam Jones, Flash Gordon.
Yes.
It's just, and there's a lot of stuff that gets like sectioned off. Just I think so people aren't like snapping a lot of selfies, and it's just easier for organization to have kind of almost aisles.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of walk around the curtain to get into celebrity area. There's just Sam Jones by himself eating Chinese food. I'm like, sad image. Also, Sam Jones jacked,
big guy. Did you see Sergeant Slaughter?
Yeah, he was there.
Was he big? Is he still big?
Yeah, it looks the same.
What about the Nasty Boys?
I don't know who they are.
They were there. They're probably hanging out with him. Was he wearing his like hat? Like,
yeah, he was wearing. He had the whole thing.
Did he look like he could still kick your ass?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Sam Jones though, like big dude, like he is in shape.
Did you see Will Wheaton?
Yeah, he had a cop with him.
Wow.
Like he's so big, he gets police. I don't know, what do you call that?
Escort?
Yeah.
I got escorted by a police officer once.
I got an escort once.
Hey, and on that note,
we'll be back.
We'll see you next week. Got an escort once. What does that even mean? You got an escort once?
Means I got a hooker.
Well, yes, I know what an escort is.